you know that this country is just a corporation? A police state that won't tolerate insubordination? Did you know your birth certificate is just a receipt? You were born on a tax farm, isn't it sweet? They brainwash you with the TV, then enslave you with debt. I see people oblivious and it makes me upset. So listen all, this is my call for an uprising. It's time to brawl because we've all had enough lying. Not done trying, but fuck crying, it's time to act. I see everyone waking up, but no one fighting back. We're in a state of emergency, how we live is absurd to me. Currently, they're about to crash US currency. Problem, reaction, solution, the oldest trick in the book. Been trying to tell you about it, no one would give it a look. Now the new world order is right around the corner. We're living in the last days, time is getting shorter. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land.
You've been messing with some delicate minds. It's a deception. Everything that you've been fed was a lie. Be careful with the medicine that you have just been prescribed. It's the devil and he wants you if you're dead or alive. Look, suggestive thinking's got you a victim of this suicide. And you've been blinded by the invisible prison that you have been doing time in. You're entitled to the truth you think that you've acquired. And the conditioning's what makes you violent with the refusal bias. In zombie land, where we poison our water, we feed you lies about the wars and then reward you for slaughter. And boy, it gets darker. The FDA just pulls you in farther with poisoning toxins in food and even more from the doctors. You could either wake up and just think for yourself, beginning by questioning everything education and media tells you, or you can stay asleep, remain in critical health, and fend for yourself in the prison of the material realm. Let's get it.
This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. This is the resistance and I'm not giving in. Breaking the paradigm everybody's living in. No more spinning on a ball, that shit was just pretend. And I'm not gonna say it is just for the sake of fitting in. The truth is different to people because illusions vary. The truth is hidden, the truth is missing, the truth is buried. The truth is beautiful, truth is ugly, the truth is scary. That's why telling the truth is revolutionary. The truth is something that these people just will not provide. That's why they gotta keep sheeple completely occupied. Now our food and our fruits and veggies are modified. And that's what happens when common sense is just not applied. They govern your mind, that's why it's called governmental. Everything that comes out of their mouth is utter dribble. And we just sit here every day, it's always uneventful. That's why I'm out here causing ruckus, man, that's what I'm into. Defiant, remaining non-compliant. No, I'm not staying quiet, never remaining silent. Doing everything that I can just to create a riot. I want the truth and I'll do whatever it takes to find it. You have to be asleep to have the American dream. There's bloodlines minds, and they seem to think there's a supreme. Democrats and Republicans are sharing the scene. It's no different than the WWE. Everybody's an actor and the world is a stage. We're just some slaves, never knowing the world is a cage. They got us worrying about chasing fortune and fame. They train us to ignore these things, and it's more than just strange. But I won't do this anymore, man, I'm taking control. If you don't do it for yourself, no one's saving your soul. It's better that you make it whole than they'll make it a hole. Ripping it, tearing it, twisting and taking it slow. I've never been the type of guy that would tolerate ghouls. They try to take us and brainwash us in all of their schools. They're lying to us every day while we're watching the news. But I refuse to lose, and no, I won't follow the rules. Forever I'm defiant, remaining non-compliant. No, I'm not staying quiet, never remaining silent. Doing everything that I can just to create a riot. I want the truth and I'll do whatever it takes to find it.
Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess mask off. He's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. No threat to our Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess mask off. He's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand.
What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome to Canon. Oh, sorry, Work Griff. It's the Work Griff. I'm home for the day, working from home. Decided to go live on something a topic I just couldn't shake it, yo. I just couldn't shake this topic, right? So we touched on this yesterday, right? We touched on it yesterday. Elon Musk and Neuralink. He said that he's ready to start human trials in as little as 6 months. Right. And you got a lot of, transhumanists clamoring for this, right? You got a lot of people clamoring for this. They claim that Neuralink will be able to make the blind see and the lame walk. You know what I mean? I guess, for lack of a better term, the dumb smart, right? Almost like the limitless pill, or almost like, jacking them into the matrix. So, but me, I just can't help but to see a problem with it. I can't help but to see some nefarious purposes with it, right? But transhumanism is something that's been talked about for a very long time. It goes all the way back to what's his name, Julian Huxley, right? It goes all the way back to Julian Huxley. Who basically said, check this out. Where is it? Here we go. Hold on, let me fix myself in this thing. There we go. I believe in transhumanism. Once there are enough people who can truly say that the human species will be on the threshold of a new kind of existence, as different from ours, as ours is from that of, I guess, pecking man, it will at last be continuously fulfilling its real destiny. And that's Julian Huxley, who ironically happens to be the brother of Aldous Huxley, the author of A Brave New World. Go figure, right? So like I said, transhumanism has been talked about for decades. Everybody wants to fountain the youth. Everybody wants to figure out how to make themselves better, faster, stronger by artificial means. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to have longevity. Nobody wants to die, right? We see this in movies. We constantly see this. We're inundated with all of these movies and these TV shows, right? So for example, right, we got Total Recall. We see it in Total Recall, right? We see it in RoboCop, right? We see it in the show on Netflix called Altered Carbon. We're seeing it now in a new show called Peripherals on Amazon Prime, right? I think Aldous did make a marketing book, but I'm not sure. Sketch. You know what I mean? Now, this is going to happen whether we want it to or not, right? It's coming. We already have Elon Musk coming out with Neuralink. We've seen it in the Terminator. You know what I mean? With Skynet and their humble beginnings. But this shit is coming whether we want it to come, you know, to come to fruition or not. Me personally, when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. You know, but people want to live forever. You know, whether they shed their physical body that they have now and have their consciousness uploaded into a shell. You know what I mean? Like I said in the show Altered Carbon. You know what I mean? Look at how Westworld is. You know, Ex Machina. Ghost in the Shell, right? Like, we've been inundated with all this transhumanist propaganda to kind of desensitize us and get us prepared for this, right? Yeah, see, Sketch just said it, as I said it, the OG is Ghost in the Shell as far as transhumanist movies. That's facts. I think they did a remake with Scarlett Johansson too, right? You know what I mean? We see it also in Blade Runner. You know what I mean? It's coming down the pike, people. It's coming down the pike, and it's, you know, and it's coming under the guise of humanitarian aid, you know. And I get it. You know, you got people who've been overseas. Maybe they've been fighting in a war and they lost a leg, they lost a limb, they lost an eye. You know what I mean? Or, you know, or they got paralyzed from, you know, an improvised explosive device, and they want to be whole again. You can't fault them for that. And I get it. You know what I mean? You can't fault them for that. And I understand that. You know what I mean? But I see some very nefarious implications that come from this technology. So for example, with Neuralink, right? They're going to put a computer chip in your brain that'll integrate into your neurons and all that other stuff, and potentially make you walk and see and give you back, make it, like I said earlier, make you whole, right? They'll make you whole. But you know the government can't leave that shit up to private sector companies, right? You know the government can't do that. The government will figure out how to subsidize it. They'll fund it, and then they'll pay big bucks to have you what's the word? Have access to your back end. Pause. Right? Because when you got a computer chip in your brain, you got a processor in your brain, guess what you got? You got a PC in your brain, hard drive, you got a back end. You got an operating system, you got a back end. Period, full stop. See, the thing is, people think that these computers and stuff like that are smarter than humans when we actually tell them what to do. Right? So imagine some government, entity says, you know what? We need access to this. We need to regulate this program, right? We need to regulate this program. And then, boom, you walking down the street. And I said this yet last night. Boom, you walking down the street, right? And next thing you know, somebody done fucking flipped the switch in your brain, and now you have no control over your body, and you're going to carry some shit out that they want you to carry out, whether that's a government or somebody hacking you. Like I said, they can hack fucking Jeep Cherokees, you know what I mean? They hacking computers, they're hacking NORAD, they're hacking all of this shit. So somebody's gonna figure out, if Elon Musk can figure out how to hack the brain, right? If Elon Musk can figure out how to hack the brain, there's somebody out there just as smart as him, is not smart, that's gonna figure out how to hack your brain as well, or hack the chip that he put in your brain. You know what I mean? That's why I'm really not for it. When it's my time to go, it's my time to go. Now I understand in certain instances where it's like, okay, I used to have 2 legs and now I don't, and I want 2 legs again. You know what I mean? I used to have an arm, and I used to have 2 arms, now I don't. I used to have 2 eyes, now I don't, and I want those back. I had a stroke or a seizure, and now I don't have the use of my whole right side. I would like that back. I completely understand and I sympathize with those people. I just hope people know what comes with that, right? What'd you say, Sketch? Sketch Therapy in the building. Says, ghost hacking was likely body hacking of Neuralink people in Ghost in the Shell. I'm gonna rewatch it again. I miss Ghost in the Shell now. LOL. But hey, if you're new, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please, please, please share this stream. Let people know we're live. Let people know we're live, guys. We talking some real shit, right? If you're catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the topic at hand. Are you for, I guess, transhumanism, for lack of a better term? Are you against it? Are you for altering and hacking the human brain and body? Or are you against it? Let me know in the comments. Also, guys, I want to know what y'all think. Think we should make this a call-in show today? Put ones in the chat on YouTube and ones in the chat on Rumble if you think we should make this a call-in show today. I know some people got some interesting takes on what we're talking about right now. We got 18 in the room over on Rumble right now. Let's get them Rumbles up. Let's get those Rumbles up on YouTube as well. Handy Bob over on YouTube says, technology is always and ever exploited by those who want power and control. The political and corporate elitists. Right? Let me see. Dan Glenn says, I don't know if that's playing God. Maybe using knowledge from God like man always has. I like that. Sketch, okay, Sketch is responding to Demonat. So check it, guys. I got a yet another short video from my man ODD TV. I just read something from him today. Said he's going to get back to making these videos. He's having, having a go of it right now, as a lot of us are. So I would also ask you guys, as we go watch the video, head on over to his channel and subscribe to his channel. Watch a video and just put Canon Hotep sent you. You know what I mean? Put Canon Hotep sent you. You know what I mean? I would love to get him on the show and we could talk some, go deep down that rabbit hole. You feel me? You know what I mean? All right, cool. So what we'll do is after we watch the video, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Getting text messages. I apologize. So check it. After we finish this short video from ODD TV, we'll get to the call-ins. But like I said, I asked that you guys just subscribe to his channel. It's a fucking dope channel. He got his catalog is great. Like I said, he was one of my red pills in the beginning. And just let him, watch a video and say Canon Hotep sent me or something like that. You know what I mean? But we can get him on the channel and we can chop it up. You know what I mean? So anyway, but so like we see this shit all over the place, right? So they have what's called they have a transhumanist magazine. It's called H+. So if you don't know, and I'll put it in the thumbnail, right? H+ is I guess the symbol for transhumanism, right? That's the symbol. That's the symbol they use, right? That H+, you see in the top left corner. So it's H+ magazine, transhumanism. There we go. You see this? There we go, right there, right? So let's see when I did this. Let's see, and then it redirect. Here we go. So look, our mission. What does it mean to be human in a technologically enhanced world? Humanity Plus, also known as World Transhumanist Association, is a 501c3, guys. A 501c3 international nonprofit membership organization that advocates the ethical use of technology such as artificial intelligence to expand human capabilities. In other words, we want people to be better than well. This is the goal of transhumanism. And as you see, they got safe and ethical technology use, life extension, advocacy, anti-aging, and extending life. So if you want to put, I'll put this in the description as well. If you want to go over there and read it, we're not going to get into all of that. But this is a well-funded, right? So they're 501c3, but they're a well-funded. Let's see. I think I got that right. Spell it right? Yeah. So I'll put the link in the description on YouTube. But this is a well-funded organization, guys. Like, this is a well-funded organization. This is where they look at this. You see this? You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want. This is what they want. All right, let's see what the projects they got going on here. So they got a YouTube channel for it. Speaking of YouTube, right? Let's see, what does Humanity Plus do? Humanity Plus is a world organization that advocates for healthy longevity, ethical advances in AI development of nanotechnology. Let's notice that word right there, nanotechnology, right? Open democracy and a better future for all humanity, right? So there's been, some theories, right, that the Yamin got nanobots in it, right? They're saying the Yamin, the round trip with the layover got them nanobots in it, right? It's also what people are speculating that those clots are being formed of, or those nanobots. So I'm wondering, right? Kufi on tight. Are they injecting nano machines into people via the Yamin in order to prepare people for this said transhumanist agenda? You know what I mean? What's going on? D. Jack Dawson, what's going on? Sauce the Process says, duo and exosuits like the movie Elysium. Yeah, and that movie Upgrade, where dude gets an AI put in his brain. Yeah, and you saw how the AI took him over, right? Completely wiped him out of there. Took him over. He was no longer himself after a while. Remember that? Movie Upgrade was a good movie. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's what you call. So Sketch says the Yamin, the base equals freedom. In China, that the outbreak, anyone's talking that freedom talk is declared as heaven. The base in the future, they'll shut down your robo arm not just your WeChat. That's facts. That's facts. Salute to you too, D Jack Dawson. Salute. Smart Dust, my man. Carlos Afraka. What's going on? What's going on? So, also, apparently YouTube has a TV show, a digital series. I don't know if it's from YouTube, but it's a digital series, right? Called H+. They just put it out there. It's called H+, right? You see here in this scene right here with a guy, he's putting on his exosuit like we just talked about from Elysium. I guess apparently he must be a quadriplegic or something like that. You know what I mean? He needs his exosuit to walk. You know what I mean? I think this is what we're going to see in the near future with a lot of like soldiers who not only can't you know, walk anymore or whatever, or has been severely damaged in battle. We're gonna see a lot of that, I think, in the near future. Not only that, I think we're gonna see soldiers enhanced with that. So perfectly full body capable soldiers with exosuits doing some fucking modern warfare shit. Like, I think that's coming down the pike really soon. I think we're there. You know, they're just waiting to roll that shit out, if they haven't rolled it out already. You know what I mean? But we're being inundated with a lot of that stuff already, right? We know that Elon Musk, clearly he's a transhumanist. That's what he wants. He thinks that in order for humans to survive, we need to upgrade our brains, because I guess he thinks like the AI is going to take over and we're going to be in some kind of dystopian future like in Terminator, I guess. You know what I mean? That's why I asked, do you think Tesla will eventually become Skynet? You know what I mean? Do you think Tesla will eventually become Skynet? You know what I mean? Let's see. Where we at now? So let me get to this. Let me get to the video. So again, this is from ODD TV. Let me find it real fast. I had it queued up. I don't know what happened to it. By the way, the music you heard in the beginning is also from ODD TV as well. Just to give you guys a heads up, he does make music and stuff like that. So, especially that song "Breaking the Law," that was kind of dope. That "Breaking the Law" song was fucking fly. You know what I mean?
It's movies like Chappie.
Sorry, guys. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill my music over here. All right, guys. So let's go ahead over here to this and check it out.
That claims to support the use of all forms of technology to improve human beings.
Let's go back. There we go.
Transhumanism is the name of a movement that claims to support the use of all forms of technology to improve human beings. Adoringly called Human Plus or H Plus by its cult followers, H Plus is also a magazine dedicated to transhumanism. Take a look at a website called Humai and see that this is already being worked on, and it's not a joke. Go look at the frequently asked questions. The answers are disturbing, to say the least. It is far more than just a bunch of harmless and misguided techie nerds dreaming of sci-fi movies and making robots. It is a highly organized and well-financed movement that is extremely focused on subverting and replacing every aspect of what we are as human beings, including our physical biology, the individuality of our minds, and purposes of our lives, and the replacement of all existing religious and spiritual beliefs with a new religion of their own, which is actually not new at all. The term transhumanism was coined by biologist Julian Huxley in 1957, who defined it as man remaining man, but transcending himself by realizing new possibilities of and for his human nature. Julian Huxley was the brother of Aldous Huxley, who you may know as the author of a very famous book, Brave New World, which is a vision of the future that most people view as the New World Order.
Let me pause right there. So you saw like what he was saying, like basically changing your whole anatomy. Now I bring up that movie Repo Men again. Me and Jay was talking about, right? Go watch Repo Men. You know, that's another perversion of it where they make these things so unaffordable, right? They make these things so unaffordable. Let's just say you need a heart transplant and they figure this shit out and they can give you, I don't know, a fucking a better than organic heart, right? And they price that motherfucker out at like $100,000. You want this heart, it's $100,000, right? Beats forever, right? To the point where, you know, you get on a payment plan and you can't afford your payment, right? You get on a payment plan, you pay all this money, you can't afford your payment. Kind of like, remember the housing bubble or the crash in 2008? You can't afford it, right? Interest is too high. You can't afford the $1,000 a month they cost or whatever it is. And then they come and they take your shit. They come and take their property back. I guess they would still consider it. Right? That's one of the other things that I'm kind of worried about when it comes to this transhumanism stuff. Is them pricing it so high, right? Where only like, you know, the rich can afford it. But pricing it so high that, you know, people go bankrupt or broke trying to make themselves whole again. You know, that's one of my, you know, my things about it. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Transhumanists believe they are working toward a new and improved existence, leaving everything we have ever known in the past, welcoming a new golden age of super beings. They want to become an entirely new species, transcending what we are as humans, using radically advanced technology to achieve their goals. Let's look at a few of the primary concepts and goals of transhumanism. One of the primary concepts of the transhumanist agenda is the hive mind, a type of collective consciousness where individuality is stifled, a state of conformity. One of the early...
Now, how easy would it be to create a hive mind with Neuralink? Think about that, right? What's up, reaction? So hold up. Sketch says, Demon S says Neuralink is already Skynet, I think. Sketch says, remember that movie Strange Days when you can record a person's thoughts and play them back in your brain like you lived it? That's step one of human hacking, making you think you are someone else by implanting memories. Yeah, they also did it in that movie Hardcore Henry. They did that shit in Hardcore Henry as well. Also, I think there was a episode of Black Mirror that did that shit too, where they was able to rewind like their memories and shit and watch the shit on the television, which was, you know, that shit was odd. You know what I mean? But yeah, but how easy would it be to have a hive mind with Neuralink potentially? You know, I know there was some theories going around that they thought that Elon Musk was buying Twitter to, because that's where we live, right? We're on Twitter. Our personalities we upload our personalities on Twitter every day, right? We upload our personalities on Twitter every day. Our vocabulary, we upload it every day. So how hard would it be for them to, you know, once they hack the brain, be able to download your consciousness and give, I don't know, one of his Tesla bots your personality? Right? I think that's another way they're trying to go with it as well. You know what I mean? Reaction says resistance is futile. I hear that. Handy Bob says we'll end up like the Borg on Star Trek. Yeah.
The transhumanist elites, along with Julian Huxley, was Sir Charles Galton Darwin, the grandson of Charles Darwin, who founded the theory of evolution. Here is one of Charles Galton Darwin's quotes relating to the hive mind.
The artificial use of hormones has already been shown to have profound effects on the behavior of animals, and it seems quite possible that hormones, or perhaps drugs, might have similar effects on man. For example, there might be a drug which, without other harmful effects, removed the urgency of sexual desire, and so reproduced in humanity the status of workers in a beehive.
Big fact.
Or there might be another drug that produced a permanent state of contentment in the recipient. After all, alcohol does something like this already, though it has other disadvantages and is only temporary in its effects. A dictator would certainly welcome the compulsory administration of the contentment drug to his subjects.
The founders of transhumanism had elitist views about what humanity should be. This human beehive concept has been envisioned by the ruling elite class throughout history as an ideal society, the ultimate slave race, scientifically designed to conform, obey, and serve the needs of the elite. There's a movie from 1927 called Metropolis that pretty much depicts this whole idea. If you've seen it, then you know what I'm talking about. Transhumanists envision this hive mind as being possible when all people across the world can link their minds together using technology, creating a symbiotic existence through the new superintelligence of this collective hive mind. They refer to this collective superintelligence as the singularity. MURG, or MERG, is the acronym that transhumanists use to refer to the Mind Upload Research Group. They believe that the hive mind, or singularity, that they are working toward will occur when technology exists that will allow humans to upload their minds to a universal artificial memory device so that the combined intelligence of all our minds will create this new superintelligence that is the singularity, or hive mind. The cult of transhumanism believes that instead of worshipping fictional gods, we should seek to become godlike ourselves. They think that the body is weak, but the mind can be forever and have eternal life through technology. They are selling transhumanism to the masses using psychological warfare. Psychological warfare is defined by the U.S. Department of Defense as the planned use of propaganda and other psychological actions having the primary purpose of influencing the opinions, emotions, attitudes, and behavior of groups in such a way as to support the objectives. The fact is, the mass media is desensitizing us to their goals and in some cases brainwashing us not only to accept transhumanism, but to desire and love it. Hollywood movies, TV shows, music videos, and video games are all responsible for programming us in this way. For instance, movies like Chappie, Transformers, and even Short Circuit try to get us to root for and essentially fall in love with the idea of a conscious robot. I'm not religious by any means, but I noticed that Chappie goes out of its way to make Christians the enemy. The main antagonist of the movie is a Christian man that believes robots should not be in control of justice or anything else for that matter. Religion or no religion, there is nothing good or beneficial about the way that we are being systematically desensitized to accept a variety of destructive and dangerous ideas, including transhumanism. Hey everybody, this is ODD. I have something very interesting.
So I'm gonna stop it right there for right now, right? Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. So, right now, you guys see where they are with it, right? They inundate us with the propaganda. They get us desensitized to it, right? We see it in movies all the time, right? We see it in TV shows. We see it in movies. They make it appealing, right? They make it real appealing, real sexy, right? Sketch says they did a Christmas song with those cargo shorts. I stopped wearing mine after Chappie. I couldn't make it through Chappie, yo. Some people said it was a good movie. I just couldn't make it through it. Should just like a new age Johnny Five, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so he starts to kind of point out some people, right? Like you see on the screen, it says "I am," right? And usually "I am" is referred to God. But he points out some interesting stuff. Like he's discussing Will I Am, right? So anyway, let's check it out.
Today that caught my attention. Shout out to Ephesians 6 YouTube channel. I will link the video that inspired this one in the description. So let's jump right in. The term I am seems to be quite powerful and is used more often than any of us even think about. Before researching this, it was the furthest thing from my mind. Just a quick search of I am revealed many things, including a movement that believes the phrase has healing power. Most of you should be familiar with the Invictus Games logo that has a yellow I am in the center. It's pretty hard to miss, but we will get back to that. Is anyone familiar with the pop star Will I Am? Well, this is where I got hooked because I've looked into Will I Am in the past and I found that he is admittedly a futurist, meaning that he is big on the development of future technologies. Not to say that this is inherently bad, but when you understand what I am actually means, then it changes your perspective pretty quickly. So what does I am mean? I asked my brother Nicholson 1968, and here's what he had to say. When God revealed his name to Moses, he revealed himself as YHWH, all caps, or Yahweh, which is best translated as I am that I am. Here's the exact verse from Exodus 3:14. And God said to Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. So right there, everything began to make sense, and that's what I want to go over. So thanks to Nicholson for that. Without him, I would still be trying to figure this stuff out. Anyway, now I am means God. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Will I Am owns a company called I Am Plus that sells just a couple of technology-based products so far. One of them is Bluetooth wireless headphones called Buttons, and they also sell a smartwatch called a Dial. When you go to the About section of I Am Plus, it says this. Founded by innovator and global music artist Will I Am Plus is a Hollywood-based technology company whose mission is to create technology hits that create a ripple effect across pop culture. Our vision is to create a community of creatives and coders, and believe that through music and technology as the first step, we can usher in a powerful new era built on AI. Artificial intelligence, of course. So this is obviously a pro-transhumanism company. Not to mention, H+ is the abbreviation for transhumanism, and there is a magazine called H+, dedicated entirely to transhumanism.
That's the magazine I pointed out to you guys.
So now we are starting to see the connection with Will I Am, his company I Am Plus, and the H+ transhumanism movement. On the surface level, Will I Am seems like a harmless pop artist that makes music for little kids, but it goes much deeper than that. In fact, when you really pay attention to his music videos, you see a lot of transhumanist symbolism. It even shows in his work with the Black Eyed Peas. And this is all conditioning people to accept the transhumanist agenda, especially young children, because that's pretty much the only people that listen to Will I Am and the Black Eyed Peas. Side note, the logo of the new show Westworld looks similar to the Will I Am logo. Not that they were meant to be the same, but being that they are both about transhumanism makes it interesting. Best believe Westworld is playing its role in the agenda. They didn't just turn a 1973 movie into a 2016 television series to be creative. Anyway, let's look at the Invictus Games logo again. I am, dead smack in the middle. What does it mean?
See, the symbolism is everywhere. The symbolism is everywhere. Like, this was like, it's like HJ say, Uncle say all the time. It's chess, not checkers, right? They can't just hit us over the head with the shit. They can't just fucking roll the shit out. Right? way you cook a frog is the way you boil a frog is you turn the heat up slowly, right? You turn that heat up slowly. And that's what you got to do. You got to slow roll that shit on us. Right? The way they do with aliens. The way they do with violence in movies and TV and music. And with this shit. The symbolism is important. The propaganda is important to get a mass of people on board with your agenda. Like he said, this is really for the kids because, they're already trying to tell kids they can be whatever the fuck they want to be physically. If little Billy want to be Britney, he can. If he don't feel like being little Britney no more and he want to go back to Billy or Britney X, he can do that. It's not a far leap from that to, hey, you want some fucking, you want eyes like, you want eyes like the dude from like Vin Diesel from Pitch Black. Like you want to constantly be uploaded to the internet. Hey, let me change your vision so you can go live all the time. That shit's coming. That shit's coming. And people always make a thing where it's like, but you got your phone. You got your phone. Your phone is at no. We can turn our phones off. We can put our phones down. We can leave our phones in another room. Once that shit's attached to your body, it's attached to your body. Think about that. And imagine somebody in the government or some government entity having your imagine some government entity having your having the keys to your brain. And like I said, you walking down the street and all of a sudden you don't have no control over yourself and you start doing some shit that you had no intentions on doing. Think about that. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Well, Invictus is a poem from 1888 by William Ernest Henley. Notice his name is William. Maybe a funny coincidence, but maybe not. You never know. So I won't read the entire poem, but the last lines say, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." It sounds very innocent and inspiring, unless you know what it means. It means bypassing God and cheating death. The elite have been trying to find ways to live forever for a long time now, and they are getting close. I am means hijacking God's creation and changing it so it can defy death, which is not natural. We are meant to live and die. It's as simple as that. I hope you're getting the picture, and we do have a little bit more to go over. Let's start with Beyonce and her album, I Am... Sasha Fierce. At first glance, this doesn't seem to have anything to do with transhumanism, but the reason I kept looking into this is because of the dots. I am... Sasha Fierce. The dots tell me that I am is meant to stick out. So I looked around a little, and sure enough, I found an ad for the Beyonce 2009 I Am tour, with her portrayed as a cyborg. I also found a picture from a performance where she was dressed like the android from the 1927 movie Metropolis. In fact, Metropolis is one of the very first dystopian movies about transhumanism, and still shows up in a lot of today's pop music. In the movie, there is an inventor who creates a machine man that he considers to be the man of the future. The android has the ability of taking the form of any person, and the inventor says that no one will be able to tell a machine man from a mortal. It blows my mind that the transhumanist dream was already present back in the 1920s. And today we see Beyonce, Kylie Minogue, Janelle Monáe, Christina Aguilera, Lady Gaga, and many more paying homage to the Metropolis, whether they are in the know or not. Speaking of Lady Gaga, she got her name from a 1984 song by Queen called Radio Gaga, where the music video is all about the movie Metropolis. There's even part of the video where Freddie Mercury's face is on the android. I just can't believe how deep this all goes. I Am is much bigger than we all think. Let's check out a company called Humai. This company is dedicated to figuring out how to upload people's consciousness into computers in order to live forever. What's interesting is that Humai backwards says I am. You can't make this stuff up. This transhumanism agenda is 100% satanic and Luciferian, and it doesn't matter if you believe in that kind of stuff. The scary thing is that they do believe it, and they are acting on it. One day, everything in this world that was once natural will be synthetic and without a soul. Again, whether you believe in God or not, they do, and they are knowingly and actively corrupting his creation to the core. At least that's what they think. Even if you're like me and you can't bring yourself to have faith, this whole agenda affects everybody and truly takes away from the natural beauty of men and women and the world that we live in. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you have any connections to the term I am.
There you have it, guys. I thought he made a dope video. I wanted to share that with you guys. But this whole transhumanism thing, guys, this is scary, right? In my opinion, it's scary. Like this is hacking the human brain. You know what I mean? This is beyond, helping, the crippled walk and the blind see. You know what I mean? This is beyond that. In my opinion, this is man playing God. Sketch says Luciferians want to be invincible, and immortal. They don't care about our Judeo-Christian God unless they can use it to their ends. That's true. That's true. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to ODD TV, go to ODD TV and subscribe to his channel. Let's do this. Yeah. So this is his channel right here. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. Check out his videos. You know what I mean, and just tell him say Canon Hotep sent me in the comments. You know, maybe we can get him on the channel. We can chop it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do remember that in Demolition Man. Everybody was low jacked. I remember that. I was just watching Demolition Man a couple weeks ago too. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me do this now. I just want to get you guys' opinion. If you want to call in, the call-in number is in the descriptions below. It's in the description on my, Rumble, and it's in the description on YouTube. Also put it in the chat. Also put in the chat if you guys want to call in. Let me open up Skype. Alright. Let's see. What's going on? It's Canon Hotep. What's going on?
It's Sketch. How you doing?
What up, Sketch? What's going on, sir?
Pleasure to talk to you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Love your work.
I appreciate you.
I sub to that channel. It seems like good stuff right there.
Yeah. Like I said,
This all reminds me of sci-fi.
It does,
It's like they're both pre-programming and pre-warning on both sides.
Exactly.
Because you got the Matrix type stuff telling you this could be very, very bad.
Uh-huh.
And then you got this other, like, Strange Days kind of stuff. Remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
That somebody had a machine, like, under a wig to record what was going on, and they recorded a murder.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep,
like
I remember
stuff
that.
like that, like they're, yeah, but they painted it like, oh, this guy that had no legs. Well, you have this other guy that put that brain memory in his and starts running down the beach, so the guy with no legs can feel like he's running.
Right.
You know, and they kind of put it in like that. And you know, I was also thinking that when a lot of these, you know, they give a lot of numbers, like, oh my God, there's an epidemic going over there in China, and I don't think that's what that is. I think that there's an epidemic of freedom, and everybody's code's going red because of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's going to happen when they can turn off your arms?
Right. Like I said in Repo Man, remember? Did you ever see that movie?
I haven't seen that one yet, but I want to see that. You ever seen what they call watch parties?
Yeah, yeah.
Where like you and the audience watch a movie together and stuff. That sounds like it could be fun.
The Watcher with Council on Future Conflict, he's supposed to help me out because he does it. I think they do it on Friday nights, so that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the
Some
formula
people
from
do
him.
it like together with Twitch and Amazon. I don't really know how all that works though.
Yeah, he was telling me that he's supposed to put me down on how to do that shit, and then I'm gonna start having watch parties. Cause that'd be dope to watch some of these dystopian
That could
movies.
be fun because you could like dual stream it because your side will never show the movie. It just pops out separately.
Right.
So you could dual stream it to like Rumble and YouTube, and on Twitch you would actually see the movie and you together.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I'm going to get the
There's
get
a
how
lot
he
of
does
good
it.
movies about this stuff.
It is. It definitely is. And the thing about it is, right, as you know, when I was growing up as a kid, I always, I was like, oh, that would be so cool. That'd be so cool. You know what I mean? And as you get older and you start to see how, the government work, you start to see like the potential negative impacts it could have. It scares the hell out you.
Look, just having WeChat in America scares me.
Yeah.
It's not even going into like what does it mean to have this kind of technology in your brain.
Right.
Like I see Elon trying to do some good things and some bad things, but the thing about like presidents and these innovators is like you don't know who's going to have that power after them.
Exactly.
You may want to give this president because you like him out of power, but you don't know who's going to get that power next.
That's right.
You might want to tell this innovator to go ahead that technology, but you don't know who's going to control that technology next. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even if the best case scenarios.
Right. Exactly. So I appreciate you calling in, bro.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. Pleasure to meet you. Just wanted to say, Hotep and Build, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good.
Thanks, sir. Holla at you. Hotep.
Hotep.
All right, give me a few seconds, guys. Give me. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a second. It's Cannon Hotep. Who I'm talking to?
How you doing? Hey, Cannon Hotep. Nice to talk to you. This is actually Dan Glenn.
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
Nice to I finally speak to you. Thanks for taking my call. I mentioned earlier about technology, and I do believe that it's God inspired, and that, for instance, I have twins that are 16 years old now, and they had this thing called twin-to-twin transfusion. When my wife was pregnant, they were able to drain fluid off of one and actually save both their lives, and they're 16 years old. But 40 years ago, the procedure wasn't even available, and they would just be another number. And then the other thing, my dad has a feeding tube in him right now. 50 years ago, he wouldn't be still with us. So I think if we're careful with it, I think all the knowledge that whoever man has gotten, especially in the last 100 years, is knowledge that's inspired from the Almighty, the same Almighty we all serve. So that's what I believe. I'll listen to your comments. And thanks again, all the Hoteps, man. Love you guys.
No problem. I appreciate you calling in. And I agree with you. You know, like in the right hands, right? In the right hands, this technology could be, you know, life-saving technology. It could be, like I said, it has the ability to make you whole again. You know what I mean? It definitely has the ability to make you whole again. My problem is where the Luciferians and the redacted will say, or the collective will call them, where they want to take that and they want to use it for their own personal gain. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, you want this, all right, cool, and then but we need to be able to hit your off switch should you buck the system or something like that. That's my problem with it. The technology itself, you know, I don't have an issue with it. You know, if you want to get the Neuralink, get the Neuralink. You know what I mean? But understand the potential consequences behind getting it, the potential implications behind getting it. That's the problem that I have with it. But honestly, you know, hold on one second, caller. Let me finish this one. Thought. But yeah, so like with Dan Glenn, like my problem is the nefarious capabilities behind, you know, being hackable. You know, the human body being hackable and what they could possibly do to humanity, you know, not in a positive light, but in a negative light, which kind of scares me. But anyway, who I'm talking to, what's going on? It's Cannon Hotep.
What up? It's Black Mountain Hotep.
What up, bro?
What up? Hey, I'm really glad I tuned into this one. What you're talking about, it's really impactful. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Perfect. So I actually encountered a lot of this stuff, a lot of the transhumanism conversations a couple years back, listening to Sean Carroll and other, like astrophysicists, all these atheist people who call themselves philosophers. Well, in their whole entire network, they for a long time have been talking about how to crack human consciousness to promote and to increase the idea that transhumanism could be a reality, could be an actuality. So I just think it's really interesting, all of these other things coming at play. When I first heard of the Neuralink, that was, way back when he was on Rogan, and they were talking about things like this, Lex Friedman's podcast, they were having conversations like this for a minute. Yeah. So, I was telling people, hey man, things are going to change. You just watch, like we're going to start to become less and less identifiable as time passes by. And you start to see these things have already started to manifest. They've already become. So I just wanted to chime in on that. If people are interested in going down those rabbit holes, a really good place is, like Alex Chalmers and Sean Carroll, because they extensively but talk about this. And it's scary what they think the next steps in evolution, physiologically and technologically are, versus even the things that we know to be true or to be potentially true today.
Right. And that made me think about the movie Gamer. You ever seen that movie Gamer?
Oh, yeah.
And like that's what I'm talking about. How somebody can just take you over and make you do whatever they want you to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like that's another big thing I'm worried about. I can see those potential implications. I'm gonna go back and listen to that episode that you were talking about with Lex Friedman. Like, cause it's this is an interesting topic, people, because we're here, right? We're here.
Yeah.
And it's literally around the corner. Like I said, Elon Musk said he wants to start Neuralink human trials in 6 months. Right? That's not even around the corner. Like we walking up on that shit right now. And and I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I think we're gonna get a lot of people that volunteer for this because you got a lot of transhumanists that want that, right? You all got a lot of military veterans who've been wounded or lost a limb that's going to want to be able to get a prosthetic and be able to control that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And then you just got the people that just want to be some other shit, right? Because where does it stop? Now we're gonna have like fuck people that's all right. I want the foot of a fucking wolf. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, it's never going to stop because we have to think about it. We have to think about it in these ways. All of the medical breakthroughs, everything that's made our lives easier has to come with some sort of negative. And usually the negative is the other applications for these technologies. Right. And so, when we, like you mentioned veterans, the idea that a veteran, potentially paralyzed or quadriplegic, they could walk again. Mm-hmm. Or, the idea that you could have a new limb again, that you through a Neuralink technology could have more access to, things like that, right? Yeah. Those are benefits to the longevity of our society, right? Right. But the negative aspect is, what is the military gonna do? What are they gonna adapt with it? What is the other sector? What are they gonna adapt to? What are they gonna do? They're gonna want to take this application. We've seen it in movies. A guy makes something, it cures cancer, but it also kills the Hulk or some shit, and what happens, right? They're like, all right, well, we're gonna kill the Hulk, fuck cancer. And so we have to expect as we advance. We're what, at 8 billion people now? Yeah. We have to expect that, that these things are going to happen. They have to happen in a sense in order for us to survive the next millennia, right? In order for us to evolve, we have to take the dirt and the salt at the same time. We have to be able to sift through that. What makes it scary is that, who's going to get swept up and lost in that process? And, do you want to be a part of that group or not?
Exactly. I couldn't say it better than myself, but that's 100% it. You know what I mean? It's just so much to unpack with this whole situation. There's so much to unpack. Like, what was his name? Rockefeller, the guy that died. What was his name? He was like 100 years old, 110 or some shit like that, where he had like 9 heart transplants. Right? He was one of those same people that was waiting for this transhuman. Like, I guarantee, like, he would have funded Elon's whole Neuralink project just for.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been skateboarding all my life, and I got a knee injury that if they told me, hey, we got these nanobots that's gonna make your knee brand new again, you mean to tell me that I can go back to doing the high athletics? Like, it's gonna be a battle whether or not to take those. I'm not gonna lie about that. But in my mind, I'm like, well, what if they make those nanobots? What if they even turn them things against you, and now all of a sudden you're MK Ultra? You know what I mean? Like,
right. That's the thing about it. That's the scary part, right? Because like I said, I can see the the positives in it, right? Because like you said, who wouldn't want to be made whole again, right? Exactly. You know what I mean? How many athletes out there with torn ACLs? You know what I mean? Torn hamstring, shit like that can't be they're just done, but you can take these nano machines or these nanobots and get an artificial,
get their career back.
Yeah, get your career back. You know what I mean? Would that be a controlled substance? Would the NFL treat that like steroids though? Like, but regardless, neither here nor there. Just for quality of life.
Have you do you know of it's a video game called Deus Ex or Deus Ex?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, so this the premise of the game, I'm not gonna obviously go deep into it, but the premise of the game is that it's set in the future and it's no longer a race-based society. Now it is a organic and non-organic based society. So you have people with augmentations and then you have people without them. And for the most part, groups live together, but they're what is the word? They're racialized. They're turned into counter arguments because the humans, they believe in organic life. They believe in all the longevity of the human race in the organic way. Whereas other people who are enhanced, augmented, a lot of them have committed crazy crimes. They have these crazy augmentations because there's going to be criminals just like there's going to be people who need it, right?
Right.
And it's crazy to think about, but that is a good way to perceive what we could be in, several hundred years or 100 years. Imagine we're no longer arguing about race. We're arguing about, these people, they want these rights, but they're not even all the way human,
right.
And these were the radicalization. That's what I was looking for. They got radicalized by the politicians who were either for the augmentations or not, so that they could benefit the military or, all these things. And so that is something, a mixture of that, Minority Report, Gamer, and Ready Player One. I see all those things happening to our society, all of those things, until eventually it's like Elysium with Matt Damon, and we're all just living down here in the shit zone, and they're living up there in space.
Exactly. It'll be the haves and the have-nots, literally.
Yes.
It'll be the haves and the have-nots, literally. That's the crazy part about it. And I don't think people really I don't know. Everybody looks at the sexy part of it, right? Everybody looks at all the sexy part of it. Like, I'm going to be the $6 million man in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they don't really look at those implications of okay, one, how much is this shit going to cost you? You know what I mean? Like
$6 million.
Exactly, right? And what's your credit score, guys? And we ain't talking about your FICA. We talking about your social credit score. Because that's gonna have a big implication in what you do, right? Or what
you said something wrong.
Right.
Turn your augmentations off.
Right, exactly, right? They coming to get their shit back. Like I said, in Repo Man, you can't afford to pay your bill. Oh, you got an artificial heart? Well, I guess it's your time to go. You know what I mean? Like that's where we are. That's where we are.
Scary, man.
It's very scary, bro. It's very scary.
But I'm gonna jump off and keep listening. You know what I'm saying? You keep it up, man. That's what's up.
I appreciate
Shout
you.
Yeah.
So there's one more video I want to show you guys, right? And this shit is coming down the pipe too. Make sure I got this right. Yep, here we go. Called an artificial womb. Because I'm assuming that depending on how transhumanist you get, women might not be able to have babies no more. So they're going to need to grow these babies in a farm, right? Just saying. So anyway, check this shit out. We'll talk about this after it's over. Let me see.
This is the Artificial Womb Facility, a place where humans could be grown entirely from scratch. The devices you see here are called growth pods. Each growth pod is designed to replicate the same conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. Growth pods are designed to host human fetuses until they are fully developed. These artificial wombs are designed to help premature babies to continue developing after their births. But emerging scientific research is making it possible to use them to create designer humans entirely from scratch. Every human fetus requires around 37 weeks inside the mother's uterus to fully develop. And then comes birth. But not every human has this biological luxury. In fact, every year around 15 million fetuses are born too early, and approximately 1 million of them die due to birth complications. The minimum number of weeks in which a developing fetus must stay in the womb is 24 weeks. If the fetus is born before that, the survival rate will go down. Even if the fetus survives, it will likely to experience lung issues and long-term neurological damage. Although baby incubators exist and they increase the chances of survival, they have their own limitation. If the fetus is born before 22 weeks, incubators are not likely to work. The artificial womb is an advanced version of baby incubators, and it promises to make the problem of premature births obsolete. But how does it work? In terms of design, the artificial womb consists of the growth chamber, which hosts the fetus. It replicates the same environment provided by the mother's uterus. It is the incubation chamber that provides the optimal temperature and humidity for the growth of the fetus. There is another container which provides the fetus with a constant stream of blood that is rich of oxygen until the moment of birth. The artificial womb is filled with the amniotic fluid, which is the liquid that surrounds the fetus inside the mother's uterus. This liquid is rich of the essential nutrients that are needed to sustain the unborn fetus inside the womb. The growth chamber also features advanced sensors coupled with artificial intelligence. These sensors monitor the fetus's vital signs during the development process, which include breathing and heartbeat. The artificial womb also features a screen which displays real-time data on the development progress of the fetus. Inside this growth pod, the fetus is kept for 9 months until a full course of development is reached. The concept of growing babies inside an artificial environment is called ectogenesis. Ecto means outside and genesis means formation. And it isn't really new. The history of the artificial womb dates back to the early 1950s. The first design of the artificial womb was patented by Emanuel Greenberg back in 1955. He developed the concept with the hope of helping premature babies to continue developing after their birth. Back then, baby incubators already existed, so no one really moved forward to building the prototype of the artificial womb. In the 1990s, researchers at Tokyo University's medical department tested the artificial womb to see if it actually works. They removed a goat fetus from its mother by C-section. Then they placed it in a rubber womb filled with artificial amniotic fluid, and the little guy was delivered 17 days later. In 2002, scientists built mini artificial wombs using cells extracted from the uterus itself. These lab-made wombs allowed embryos to attach themselves to their walls, just like the natural process. Even though the embryos began to grow and develop, they were terminated 5 days later due to ethical concerns. In 2017, scientists from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia managed to use a primitive design of the artificial womb, where they placed a premature lamb fetus. After keeping the lamb fetus for 4 weeks inside the artificial womb, it started growing a wool coat, gained weight, and even opened its eyes. The researchers went on to test their design of the artificial womb with more lambs, and their experiments were successful. As of today, the real artificial womb is no more than just a plastic bag filled with amniotic fluid. It doesn't look like much, but it serves its purpose, allowing premature fetuses to continue developing outside the mother's uterus. Even though the primary goal of the artificial womb is to sustain premature babies, it could actually be used to create the perfect human being. By engineering a human being from scratch, we can redesign ourselves to be more resistant to diseases and to achieve more intelligence and better looks. And babies who are born in such a way are called designer babies or designer humans, because they have been customized and designed by another human being before their birth. To create the perfect designer baby from scratch, you don't need something sophisticated actually. All you need is just a skin cell.
So that's where we headed, guys. That's where we're headed. Designer babies, designer arms and legs. Designer human beings, period, full stop. You don't like how you was born, you can change it. And we ain't talking plastic surgery. We ain't talking plastic surgery. Or maybe we talking little plastic surgery. You know. But maybe plastic surgery by way of some nano machines. You don't want size 13 feet? Now let's give you some new legs, some new feet. Right? Like I said, a bunch of $6 million men walking around, a bunch of bionic women. Toloco says, don't design me, bro. Man, but there you have it, guys. The transhumanism agenda is underway, and it looks like it's starting with Elon Musk making the first major step by way of Neuralink. He said he wants to help, disabled people, and that's very noble. But we all know most things with noble beginnings, when it comes to the powers that be, the redacted, the lizard men, the collective, get perverted in some way, shape, form, and fashion. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream, let people know we were live. If you're catching the replay, let me know what you think about the topic at hand. What do you think about transhumanism? Are you down for a designer baby? Are you down for the hacking of the human mind? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to donate or help support this channel, super chats are always welcome. Rumble rants are always helpful. Or you can just donate directly to my Cash App. $Canon Hotep on Cash App. That's $Canon Hotep on Cash App. Anyway, it's Canon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. Don't design me, bro. I'll let y'all.